And now they can hear me. And now you have to mute. Now you have to mute the Apple. And there we go. All right, guys, you didn't miss anything. I think I'm still have an echo though. Do I have an echo going to you, TJ? Let me know. All right. No, it's not. All right. I don't know. Hit the mute button on the Apple. And now we should be all right. Hey, TJ, let me know online if there's an echo. You hear the echo. He hears the echo. I don't know what's going on here. Online. All right, look, it is what it is. I got another thing we could do. Turn the Comrex down in the mains. That might be it. And the echo will go away. If not, we're going to have to do it with an echo because I don't want you guys to miss this show. All right, for all of you guys who waited for the other shoe to drop when the 50 basis points increase in interest rate was announced, and strangely enough, there wasn't any. It was only crickets. At first, that's all it was anyway. Most of you thought it would be a disaster, and it might even happen today, so watch for it today. It's a possibility. Often I find that news like this has a delay in effect, but let me try to explain why the market didn't instantly drop yesterday. The Fed had been signaling the interest rate increase of 50 basis points, and it's been signaling it since about the beginning of the year. And if you remember in past episodes of my show, I mentioned that the Fed would just come out and tell the public that it was raising the rates either 50 basis points or 25 basis points. And the market would be happy if they just said what would happen, right? So it's always the unknown that affects the market the most. Have you ever noticed that when a company is being sued, like Johnson & Johnson was with the talc powder causing cancer a few years ago, the stock actually rose significantly on the day, and it rose significantly on the day that the settlement was reached. That was because the unknown was now known. The amount of the company would be liable for can now be factored in. And it's the same with the Fed finally announcing the interest rate increase. It's no longer an unknown. The market can now be sure. The money managers will now be trying to calculate which sectors will hit the hardest by the increase, and obviously, the housing sector and mortgage sector will be hit at the hardest. As I've been saying, this is the last good year for housing. After this year, the housing market will start to fall. And will it be like 2008? Perhaps, but either way, we'll be sure, make sure you're protected. Other possible sectors that interest rates may affect could be areas like retails. Retailers use borrowed money to buy goods to sell in their store. The other area is the area of affordability for the consumer. Will the consumer buying on credit avoid purchases because they can't afford the cost of the credit? The travel sector may also have an issue, and that's why we saw travel stocks drop yesterday. And then, of course, Powell spoke and changed everything. Now, here's what's interesting. When he spoke, he said the dreaded statement that another 50 basis points increase is still on the table. Then the market dropped. I don't know if you guys remember this, but it's really fun to watch. So basically, what happened was we went back to uncertainty. He would only say yes or no to a 50-point basis increase, and the market could move on. So if he says yes or no, it'll move on. But here's what happened. He had some positive statements, as well as about how he felt it would do anything to help the country and balance the increases to slow inflation. Then the market moved up again, and it took off. And if you guys ever want to do this, watch Powell speak and watch the market move up and down while he speaks. He actually had a very positive report, and with every sentence he spoke, the market went up. Now, here was the best part. And again, you guys don't know this unless you watched it, because it was wild to watch this. There was a reporter who asked a question, and the question was, do you think the Fed will ever raise interest rates more than 50 basis points? And he quickly said no. And then, boom, the market took off to finish 932 points ahead. The S&P was up about 125, and the NASDAQ was up about 400. On Wednesday, we also had Lyft report earnings, and the earnings were okay, but the guidance was surprisingly bad. However, the earnings the earnings looked pretty good to me. I don't know. I actually thought they were pretty good. The revenue was $876 million, and Wall Street expected $846 million. So that's fine. The riders count was also a small fraction lower than expected, and the revenue per rider was higher than expected, by a large $2.12 difference. To me, it should have been a great report. The guidance was the killer. And I don't understand this. They were expecting less drivers to work for them, and they're expecting more cost per rider in the second quarter. So what? They're going to get the riders, and the people are going to pay the difference. They're paying the difference everywhere else. But the stock dropped 27% on that news, and it also brought Uber down with it. Uber announced their earnings early yesterday, and it was supposed to be after the bell, but they announced it in the morning. And again, it was a great report, except for the part where it reported a $5.9 billion loss during the period that was largely attributed to the revaluation of equity investments. Now, I got to tell you that the article didn't say what these investments were, but I'm going to guess it was a Bitcoin investment. At the end of last year, many companies with excess cash, they were investing in Bitcoin on the expectation that it would go to 100,000 that is. Currently, Bitcoin is about 40,000, and that's an issue. The article instead said most of the investments they lost on were China company holdings like Didi, and I don't know if I believe it, but they're saying it. Anyway, also AMD also reported earnings after the bell on Tuesday, and they crushed expectations. And the reason I want to bring this up is because the company blew away earnings per share estimate of 91 cents and topped $1.13. It was unbelievable. They killed it, right? So the guidance was also surprisingly great, and I never would have expected them to say that the chip sales would be increasing when PC sales are decreasing. However, AMD feels that the chip money will be made in gaming and video cards. After the report, the stock rose about 7% to 97, and this is why you never bet on earnings. We also had Moderna report, and what a surprise. Pelosi must be an investor because Moderna reported more vaccine sales than ever. You know, during the period that had the lowest vaccine injections since the vaccine was introduced. Now, don't scratch your head. It's real simple. The government bought them. They're sitting on shelves doing nothing, but Moderna's stock went up about 5%. And like I said, Pelosi was happy. And let's take a quick look at the futures right now. Right now, the Dow is down 159, the S&P is down 26, and the NASDAQ is down 116. All right, guys, I want you to listen up here because I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on. And my apologies for the echo. You know what? Actually, let's do this. Let's take a commercial real quick. I'm going to come back to the other story. I'm going to see if we can fix this real quick. So let's take a commercial.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com. All
right, welcome back to Investor Schooling. Sorry, we can't fix the problem, so it'll just happen to be that way. Real quick, if you want some more information about Investor Schooling, go to investorschooling.com and listen up, guys. I know the audio is not that great, but I want you guys to listen up because it's an interesting story. So let's talk about abortion. So sometimes I just really have to talk about issues that are not money related because they're all over the news and they need an explanation. I thought it would be a good moment to reflect and discuss my personal views on the topic. As some of you may know, a document was, and I quote, accidentally released from a Supreme Court justice that contained an opinion of the current abortion law. Now, first of all, let's have a little history on Roe versus Wade. The detrimental and groundbreaking decision was made in 1973, and it basically protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without excessive government restriction. The decision, by the way, was not based on the abortion, whether abortion should be allowed. It was made on the decision of privacy between a patient and a doctor. So in other words, if you wanted an abortion and your doctor had agreed to the procedure, no one would interfere with this decision. So that was what it was based on. It was just based on privacy. Eventually, through appeals, the trimester rule was allowed, so you guys know that you can only have an abortion during the first trimester. That's changed everywhere. Some places in New York you can have an abortion to the day after the baby was born, which is unbelievable. Anyway, so up until the Roe versus Wade decision, the individual states would have the right to make their own abortion laws. And under these laws, if violated, the doctor and patient could have consequences such as loss of medical license and even prison time. So each state would have its own laws, and that's how the Roe versus Wade case first came up. And I'm going to tell you that it was a woman who was known as Roe, by the way, that was not her real name, who wanted an abortion for birth control reasons. She lived in Texas, and it was illegal there. So what she did was she brought it to the U.S. Supreme Court, and her attorney fought and won the case with the privacy ruling, as I mentioned earlier. So fast forward to now, and we have the Supreme Court about to decide if the original case ruling needs to be overruled. Remember that if it's overruled, that would mean that the individual states could decide their own fate on the lives of millions of unborn children, and the government cannot interfere. My guess is that the blue states will continue to allow the killing of the unborn, while the red states will stop or at least slow down the rate of abortions. A draft of a document was released and published by Politico, which is a left-wing journalist rag, and it's unknown how they obtained the private document. This is interesting. However, its release is a serious violation of many rules and, ironically, the state of privacy of the Supreme Court. In this document, Chief Justice John Roberts was stated writing an opinion about the matter. A statement in the document said the following: "We hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled." He writes in the document labeled as the opinion of the court, "It is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives." So basically, he's saying that the Constitution of each state, or the United States, can't control the Constitution of each state, and he's absolutely correct. So once again, he is of the opinion that the states should decide. He did release a statement after the document was published in the media confirming the authenticity of the leaked document, but it does not represent a decision of the court for a final position of any member on the issues of the cases. So basically, they have to vote on it. So now here we are, a week before the primaries, and with the midterm elections approaching, we have an interesting problem. We know the Democrats are looking for the golden ticket after they screwed up our lives with the scamdemic and scamlection. Add to that inflation and brain-dead zombie in the White House, they need a position of strength. Well, the voters who are voting to preserve the needless deaths of thousands are also the voters who vote for illegal border crossings, criminals that go free, and they're against free speech and feel the government should control the people. These are the people that are hoping they will not lose the right to kill the unborn children. Well, it's a sad day for everyone in this country when someone walks into an abortion clinic and destroys the life of someone. This person could have been the one, who knows, maybe who cured cancer, maybe the one who ends starvation, maybe the person, he or she that is, who creates a way to make peace in the world. Or maybe just someone who becomes a friend to someone who makes the other person happy. Who are you to end the potential of this life, or after the potential, or alter the potential of the future? In my own life, I know of at least 3 people who at a time of their formation in the womb was a target or at least a thought of abortion of the parent. All 3 of these children who were allowed to live are amazing individuals, and although I would have never known them if they were never born, I'm glad to know them now. Have you ever spoken to someone who had an abortion? Their life has changed forever. The mental wound of wondering, what if I let my baby live? What if I would have let my baby live? What would my life be like now? What would that child's life be like now? Will haunt them forever. Here it is, real simple. Abortion leaves one dead and the other injured. Man. Oh, so Seth is asking, was it leaked purposely? And I'm going to tell you, I believe that it probably was leaked purposely. It was probably likely that it was leaked purposely just to keep it moving, right? All right, so we are all over the place right now. So real quick, let's talk about the next topic. Let's talk about what's going on with Bill Gates. We're going to be talking about Bill Gates coming up. We're going to be talking about Biden and the deficit. And of course, we have today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button yet? Did you guys hit that share button? Come on, do that. All right, let's go. Let's talk about Gates and social media. Hey, you remember some of the conspiracy theories during the scamdemic? You know, Like the one where Bill Gates was implanting a 5G activated chip in your body through the injection? Yeah, I know, a few of you still may believe this, and a few of you watching may even believe it too, but I'm pretty sure that it wasn't true. However, Bill Gates is now adding himself to the list of people preventing the spread of what they, and when I say they, I mean the anti-free speech Nazis, feel is misinformation. You know, like masks don't work, or the actual death count of the coronavirus, or maybe that every vaccine, including the COVID vaccine, might have some serious side effects that might even cause death. It's nothing unusual. This happens. It's not like it's not like it couldn't happen. You might have some kind of weird genetic disorder like me, and worry that the COVID vaccine may affect that. It'd be nice if they could actually do research or release it. Basically, right? So the world will definitely be a better place when a few leaders of the media like Soros and Bill Gates control it and end all free speech and free thought for the rest of us. Well, Gates just spoke at a Wall Street Journal CEO summit, and in his speech he mentioned Twitter and Elon Musk. Gates said that it's unclear how Musk will change Twitter if he takes ownership, while also raising concerns of the spread of misinformation on social media platforms. Well, Mr. Gates, let me be clear. Musk is trying to invoke this ancient, often overlooked document called the Constitution of the United States. I realize that you and your elite friends want to control the country and the world, but now you have the richest man in the world schooling you and countering your evil deeds. Gates also announced the formation of a 3,000-person social media unit to help propagate accurate vaccine information in the future. He stressed that good messages need to be carried forward by people of trust in the community, such as political and ethnic leaders. So here's something you guys should know. The group will be appropriately named, No Analytical Thinking Suggested or Implemented. No Analytical Thinking Suggested or Implemented, with the acronym NATSI. NATSI. It will be appropriately pronounced NATSI. Okay, maybe I made that last part up, but it sounds good, doesn't it? All right, let's talk about Biden and the deficit. Hey, if you're watching CNN or MSNBC, you're watching their hero Biden being praised for lowering the deficit a whopping $1.5 trillion. It will be the largest deficit reduction in history. Wow, aren't you glad that you voted for him? Yeah, I know you didn't, but the results said you did. Well, let's talk about that reduction and how it actually happened. CNN will also let you know that the highest deficit we ever had was under the Trump administration. Well, check it out. Both of these facts happen to be true. Do you know why? Well, Trump wasted billions of dollars on something that was a complete waste of money and time and is no longer necessary or needed. You guys know what this was, right? It was the ridiculous coronavirus vaccine costs and stimulus money for the early shutdowns. It's just another claim by the do-nothing president, Biden that is pure logic. It is like it's like when he says he created more jobs than any other president. No, Mr. Dumbass. People going back to their jobs after being told they weren't allowed to is not creating jobs. No, brain dead. It's not spending money on the scamdemic that ended almost 2 years ago and that's not lowering the deficit. It's just making it go back to normal. When your Democrat friends tell you how great this president is doing, please explain this to them. Please, please, please explain it to them. And most of all, spinning the information to make yourself look good is a form of lying and manipulation. Maybe we can get Bill Gates' Nazi team to investigate this misinformation for us. Oh wait, never mind. All right, let's take a break here real quick, and we'll see if I'm actually allowed back after Eric Biden and Eric Gates. All right, I'll see you guys in a minute. Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and I've written a book called Money Hacks. The subtitle to this book is Because Everything You Think You Know About Money is Wrong, and I promise you there are things you think about money that are wrong. There are chapters in this book that I think you will find absolutely fascinating, and some of them are, what is money anyway? Can money buy happiness? I'll bet you don't know the answer to that question. The truth about credit scores, how you can actually use credit cards to rebuild your credit. I also have chapters on being your own bank, how to buy houses with an IRA, and how to invest with other people's money. There are so many other chapters. There are 22 total chapters in this book, and I promise you're going to learn how to make more money and pay less taxes when you buy this book. My name is Larry Steinhouse. The name of the book is Money Hacks. You can get this book wherever fine books are sold, and you can go to barnesandnoble.com right now and pre-order it. I hope that you will enjoy it. Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and I'm a financial literacy expert. Yeah, I know, you've heard that a lot. There are a lot of people out there call themselves financial literacy experts, but I promise you that in my new book, Money Hacks, this book is also subtitled, by the way, because everything you think you know about money is wrong. All right, sorry about that. Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and I'm really hoping you can make that book launch on June 1st. Go to moneyhacksbook.com to register now for just $27, and I'll even promise I'm going to wear that jacket. Can you tell that our normal engineer is out sick today? Sorry about that, guys. Mike is out sick. He actually, he's out sick. I'm actually not going to say it. All right, so far, of course, we talked about abortion rights. We talked about the gates to social media czar. We talked about Biden and the deficit, and coming up, we have today's picks and plays. But hey, I wanted to say hello to a whole bunch of people online. I'm just going to say hello to everybody right now, because obviously we're running a bit behind, and there's got to be at least 20 or 30 people who have said hi to me so far, and I just can't go through them all. So thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys all listening. But also, hit that like button, hit that share button. Let everyone know what great stocks plays are coming by sharing this information. And of course, you could share on your page or in groups that you feel will benefit from great stock plays. Also, leave me some more comments. Say hi, everybody. And also let me know what you think of the show. You guys are awesome. I like a couple of people are all concerned about gates, and that makes sense to me. All right. If you're listening also on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this station and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about the politics behind the stock market. Let's talk a little bit about what's going to go on today. So here we are again, right? A big pop often means a big drop in the stock market, and I will tell you that it's real simple. It's the simple steak and tuna theory in action. I teach something called the steak and tuna theory at Investor Schooling, and if you ever want to come by and learn it, I promise you it's how the market works. So the money managers today, they're not going to want to lose their profits for the week, so they're going to sell off in the morning and take the profits that they didn't take yesterday. So one or two that didn't get their orders in or whatever they didn't do, they're going to take those profits this morning. So the other thing about today is kind of odd. It's the biggest day of earnings announcements. We have 545 companies reporting their earnings today. Some of the important ones to watch out for basically are people like Kellogg's. We have Kellogg's reporting before opening. We have DoorDash and Zillow reporting after the bell. And we have Lucid reporting as well. We have a couple other electric car manufacturers reporting as well today. So this will be an interesting state of the economy and where it's going. Zillow will be a very important one because Zillow will be talking about the housing market. And you're going to get a good idea what's going to go on with the housing market with Zillow. My favorite report, however, is going to be Royal Caribbean, and that's going to come out any minute now because I'm holding a whole bunch of Carnival Cruise Lines. A good guidance report from Royal Caribbean will make CCL pop, just like when United went up, it made AAL pop. So I'm kind of hoping for that. So after that, basically, today's earnings season is over, and as always, you should start to expect the market to move down. Yesterday was an anomaly in my mind, so watch the downturn again. Pick your stocks, and in my case, I would actually say pick some stocks, maybe even half of your portfolio in stocks and sell covered calls to ride out the wave. I still like the travel stocks, as I've been saying for a long time. I think some also interesting plays are Meta and Apple. I like them both, but Meta may be too high from that right now. I'm actually looking to see it fall below 200 again. All right, so let's take a quick look at the futures one more time. We have the Dow down 144, we have the S&P down 24, and we have the NASDAQ down 105. All right, real quick, crypto scene. Crypto did move up a little bit on the Fed shares announcement. However, Bitcoin is still holding below 40,000, and Ether is just about 3,000, and all the other coins are relatively quiet as well. So, I don't know, maybe not. Gold and silver moved up a bit, and gold is just under 1,900. And I got to tell you, that baffles me. I still think gold should be above 2,000 and stay there. Silver's about 23, and we all know, of course, that silver will increase next week. You guys want to know why silver is going to increase next week? Because that's when my order ship comes. For you new audience members, it appears that whenever I buy my order ship for silver, the silver price goes up. I must be ordering too much. That's got to be the reason. All right, the Treasury bond is just below 3%, but I expect this to be right around 3, and I expect it to be in the high 3s by next month. It's just basically the natural progression. I wouldn't even worry about it. Oil is inching up now, and it's at about $108 a barrel. Hey, I want to thank all the listeners on WWDB Radio, AM in Philadelphia, and I want to thank you for your continued support. If you're enjoying the show, please reach out and let us know. My name is Larry Steinhouse. I am the host of Money Chat Now, and I am the CEO of Investor Schooling. Hey, make sure you guys all have a profitable day. See you tomorrow.